Partly sunny, it'll be a breezy day Thursday, the high at 66. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It's currently 59 degrees. Your next news update in 30 minutes. For continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather, go to 560theanswer.com. I'm Elisa Z. Chicago's Morning Answer Show continues on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. The Illinois High School Association Board of Directors met yesterday and approved updates to the return to activities guidelines.
It was pretty good news.
They waived the 2020-21 season limitations for winter, spring, and summer sports that would have restricted those sports to no more than 2 contests per week.
Yeah, we get unlimited, right?
IHSA Executive Director Craig Anderson said, given how well our state is handling the pandemic and lack of setbacks in the fall sports we've conducted so far, there was a consensus that we can move forward with allowing schools to schedule winter, spring, and summer sports without further restrictions. In addition, the summer season will begin 2 weeks earlier than initially announced. Summer sports, baseball, softball, track and field, girls soccer, lacrosse, boys tennis can now begin practices on April 19th and games on May 3rd. How exciting. Football, though, is still verboten, and the idea that it would be a spring sport, of course, I think is a big lie.
Well, it's a winter sport, so we'd start our spring season April 19th, but we'd start the makeup season for fall sports, meaning girls volleyball, football, boys soccer, in January, because, that's a really good time to play soccer in the snow. And play football when the ground is as hard as cement. That won't help with concussions.
It's not going to happen. Football's not going to happen if that's the protocol, would be what I suspect. And I've talked to a couple of high school football coaches that agree with me.
Oh, yeah.
Who know a lot more than I do. And let's talk to another one. He is Ken Leonard. He's the head football coach at Sacred Heart-Griffin in Springfield. And the coaches have, and others, players too, parents have a little bit of a hashtag campaign going on. Let us play. Hashtag let us play. Coach Leonard, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited about this week and what we're trying to achieve here for the kids.
Well, tell us.
Well, what we're trying to achieve is just that, let us play. We would like to get the fall sports that are not playing now, football, soccer, and volleyball, going now, and ending probably the first week of December, possibly the second week of December. Then the winter sports could go, and just as they did last night, yesterday, the IHSA opened up some more time for the old spring sports, we used to call it. Baseball, and so we're, in that way, everybody gets more than what we have now. Because right now, it's very limited.
Yeah, and if you don't get this now, I don't think you're going to get football, soccer, and girls volleyball in December or in January. So, what is the biggest hurdle right now? Is it Governor Pritzker? Does he have to sign off on this?
Well, I think so. I think the Illinois Department of Health has to let the IHSA we've got a medical advisory committee on which are medical experts on the IHSA, and they do a great job of advising the Illinois High School Association, and that's how it's always been, on what to do and the guidelines, and they've done a heck of a job over all these years. And now that this has stepped in, the governor and the state has taken over a lot of, as far as the regulations and control of what the Illinois High School Association can do. And we just want a chance. Our deal is, talking with all the coaches throughout the state and all the sports, we want more than what we have now. And we know we're not going to get as much as we've had in the past. So we know this is an event that nobody foresee. But doggone it, these kids. And when the surrounding states, when you guys are close, right? You go right across Indiana and Michigan, and we're not that far from Missouri down here, and doggone it, Kentucky. I got friends in Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin. Every state around us is playing, and we're saying, why is it safe for their kids to play and not safe for us? I mean, do you not trust us as adults to make good decisions as far as? And we're in contact days, so it's not like we're, our kids had shoulder pads and helmets on yesterday and holding dummies and hitting and playing, and again, we got to we got the mask and all that, and the doggone it, we want to get out there and play so everybody gets more. So that opens up. And we would like to have state finals too.
Well, so then what's the reaction you get from state legislators or the governor's office to the statement you just made of Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri? Obviously, we see it at the collegiate level. We see it at the pro level now after the last last few days. So what's the reaction? Why is Illinois an exception?
That's a good question. A lot of the legislators, and that's what that's the other thing, that we're trying to get across is we want everybody to reach out to all their legislators in the next few days. And Wednesday, Thursday was going to be, we want the blitz where we call and make sure they know our opinions, because and I tell you, the big chunk of the coaches that got this thing going, the East St. Louis area, they were part of this, Springfield. And then, the Chicago area, the parents and the kids and everybody there, they're a big part. There was more coaches from that area than any area that want this going. It's just not coaches, it's parents, and the kids. They're, for their mental health, everybody talks about safety. Well, you know what? We're really damaging a generation of kids here mentally, because it's really weighing on these kids, and I can see it. Some of my very best kids, and we're in school, and I tell you, it's gone great. We've taken all the precautions, but you can just see the smile. Our discipline level is way, way down. It is. They're happy to be there. They keep their mask. They want to be in school and the socialization. And let's not kid ourselves. We all know there's kids. Hey, there's a lot more protection from COVID together than there is when we let them loose and they go wherever they want. And that's when the COVID spreads.
Right, when they have parties and everything. And that Lake Zurich football team where they had 38 cases, that was not from football practice. That was from a huge blowout party that they had 2 weeks ago. The health department knows that, but Governor Pritzker still doesn't. It can't fit through his head that's what the reason is. So I'm a coach. My son's a junior in high school, plays football, offensive line. And I don't know if you know, but they took our 20 contact days away. So I'm pulling for you guys, because even if the governor does say, hey, we'll let fall sports continue, we're not going to have that in Chicago. I don't see that happening.
Well, that's just, and Chicago needs it more than anybody.
I know.
I mean, again, I was listening to your traffic report, and I'm thinking, and I spent 2 years, I went to Harper Junior College and played football when they had football back then, and lived up there. And my late wife was from Highland Park, so I'm very familiar with the Chicago area, and I've got lots of friends in the Chicago Catholic League, and then all the suburban. I've been coaching for 42 years, so there's, I'm an old timer, but I have great respect for them, and the Providences and the Joliet Catholics and Mount Carmels and all those guys.
Bennett Academy.
Don't forget Bennett Academy.
Yeah. Bennett, that's right.
We have an alum here.
Yeah, it's great.
But what about athletic scholarships? So, I mean, a lot of these kids are banking on, furthering their careers by going to college, whether it's D2 or D1 schools.
No question. And you talk about your son being a junior. That's a prime year. Now the seniors still have a chance, but as far as D1s and stuff, you know what? The junior year is so crucial. And if you don't get, when everybody else around you is getting, game film and everything, and it's just not football, it's all sports. And it's just not right that, hey, you can go, up there and TF South and North and all that right across the line. They're playing football, and you're watching. And
we've
It's
seen
so
we've seen a lot of prospects. Actually, there's been a lot of reports of top
definitely.
prospects that have left Illinois
To go to Florida.
to go to IMG or to go somewhere else where they can play.
no, I got friends in Iowa that's got kids that moved over. I just talked to a representative in Rock Island yesterday that's behind this, and his son is going to a private school in Iowa and playing. I've got some guys that are on my football team that are really good wrestlers, and they were in a tournament in Bettendorf, Iowa this weekend. And it's happening all over the place.
Is the IHSA being aggressive enough, in your opinion, in terms of pressuring legislators as well as the governor to be sensible on this topic, to sort of fall in formation with the other states?
Well, I think they made a big step Friday. And then yesterday, I'm hoping this opens up things for more of us now. That's what I'm hoping. I will answer that question after all this, after a week or so. Mm-hmm. I think finally and I talked to Craig Anderson, and, again, his hands are tied somewhat for sure. And they're backing us 100% on these rallies. And, not that they're involved, and they're the ones they did not start in, but you know what? Just the kids, the parents, the communities, and the coaches, I've been doing this 42 years. 2 weeks ago, I went over to Indianapolis and watched Carmel High School against Center Grove. Ugh. And there were almost 450 kids participating that night in the band and the toms and cheerleaders and it almost made me sick being there. And I got coach friends on both sides of that, and it was great to watch them and go in the locker room afterwards and just see the happiness, and just to watch a Friday night game. And I've been doing that for 42 years, and for them, it's medically and scientific, it's not there right now. Medicine, they talk about medicine and all that. Well, why is it okay in Michigan? And let's talk Michigan and Wisconsin and Kentucky, because they've got the same political, powers as we do. Why is it okay for them to be playing and not for us?
Right, so, Coach Leonard, so I asked Governor Pritzker that at the last press conference. I said, why, all these states around us are allowing high school, all fall sports, football. And he said, until the positivity rate goes down, I'm not budging. So I'm going to see him at 11 o'clock today. He has another press conference. What do you want me to ask him? Or tell him?
Right? Is the positivity rate down? Yes.
It's now down to 3.7. Yeah.
Yes. And so where does it have to go? It's never going to go zero.
I asked him that.
And it's a fact that, as far as medicine and science, it's, for these kids at this age, again, there's more damage being done mentally to these kids than COVID would ever affect them right now. And it's and the suicide rate's up 30% and all that. And we talk about that all night long. And I don't want to get into the politics, or not, because doggone it, I think Governor, he could be a hero now, and I hope he is, and I hope he steps up and says, you know what, turns it over to the IHSA, and then it's on them, and then we'll put pressure on them to do the right thing. So, I hope folks up in Chicago about the contact days. That's too bad.
Oh, it ripped out our souls.
Is there a fallback position if these rallies don't work? Has there been any discussion among the coaches or the schools that you all represent about litigation?
Well, right now there hasn't been, and again, we don't want to get into that. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a
I know, and you don't want to be. I got it. Yeah, right.
And we want to do what I just feel good, and I told I'm the oldest guy. I'm 67 years old, and I'm talking to all these young, and my son's the coach down here at Rochester, and he was one of the guys that ramrodded all this and got me involved, and he's won 8 out of the last 10 state championships, and I just told all those guys in the Chicago area and where all these, I said I'm so proud of them. And then we had a downstate coaches meeting on the Zoom, and I said, you know what, you guys are short, this is leadership. We got to get out there and we got to do what's right. Somebody's got to, everybody, we can't be sheep. My dad was in World War II, Third Army, and he told me two things. He says, don't ever let them take the guns, and don't ever let them do like they did with the Germans and the Jewish people, because they just fell right into place. I said, don't be like sheep. You got to stand up, and that's what we're doing.
He is Ken Leonard. He's the head football coach at Sacred Heart-Griffin in Springfield. Hashtag Let Us Play. As he said, contact your state legislators if you want your kids back in school and back playing football and the other fall sports for that matter. Coach Leonard, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
No problem. And this is for all sports. We want the kids that are playing now, golf, tennis, and all those, we want championships for them too. And that's
Absolutely.
what we're for.
Especially golf. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Coach
God
Leonard,
bless.
thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Now that you're spending more time around the house, have you noticed that maybe a few things are needy?
Call Crumweedy!
Crumweedy Home Pros. There's no better investment than your home, and Crumweedy is open, doing proposals and booking jobs. Get a virtual consultation. It's easy and will show you everything about your project from the comfort of your home. How it looks, what it costs, everything. This is a great time to
Call Crumweedy!
Siding, windows, and roofs. All with no money down, no payments, and no interest for